Welcome back, everyone, to the Housing Hangout, where we talk about anything and everything real estate and lending related. Boy, do we got a show for you guys today. My name is Mark with Be Really Texas. I'm joined by the one and only Sam Gabay, Merit Lending.
Back from my world tour.
I know. Sam's finally out of the woods. Yeah. So it's good to have you back, Sam.
Thanks, brother.
Good
to be back with the hooligans.
With the Housing Hangout sign.
Yep.
Good to have you back.
All right.
All right. So for all of you that have watched for the last few episodes, this has kind of been a multi-part series. It's all about foreign investors, whether you're living here or abroad, investing in real estate. Today's episode is called Investing Stateside. It's essentially a foreign buyer's real estate guide to buying land, property, homes, multifamily, whatever, here in the United States, land of the free. If you're trying to get a piece of the American dream, then this is the show you're going to want to watch.
We're all for people getting a piece of the American dream, and we're going to show foreigners how to do that in this episode. But there's also a downside of this that might end up costing you more money when you want to buy a home, and we're going to show you that coming up. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We got some great videos coming up. Mark?
Sam, how familiar are you with foreign buyers investing property here in the United States?
I'm totally familiar with it. I've done multiple transactions. They're actually pretty simple transactions.
Cool. I want to first start off by saying that absolutely anyone, anywhere in the world can buy and own property here in the United States. There's no laws or restrictions to buy property here. We are called the land of the free for a reason. Now, I will say that buying land cash is fairly easy, but I do know that there's some loopholes that you're going to have to go through if you want to finance properties. Sam, you want to kick that off?
It's actually pretty simple, okay? It's actually sometimes even more simple than the average person, average American buying a home here, because foreigners don't have a social security number. We're just going to require your foreign passport and proof that you live abroad. So that's what validates you as a foreign national, is your passport and your address abroad. Okay, and then it's going to come down to your down payment. Now, there's two variations. There's 25% down, which is the standard down payment for investment properties. On those loans, we're going to require income documentation. Even if it's foreign income documentation, we're going to translate it for you. So you don't have to do any of that work. We'll do all that. But you can also put 35% down and not provide me any income documentation at all. So literally a passport, 35% down, and I'm going to get you into that home. Now, there is a caveat. It cannot be your primary residence. Has to be an investment or a second home, okay? You don't have a visa to live here, so you can't buy a home and say you're going to live in it. That's not allowed. But you can buy one as an investment or a second home.
So now, if they're investing in property here and they're financing it, how many years can they finance it for?
30-year fixed. It's going to be a 30-year fixed loan.
Oh, it's a standard 30-year fixed.
Standard 30-year fixed. The only caveat is you need the money down, and your rate is going to be slightly higher because there is more risk in the bank. It's not going to be astronomically higher, but it will be a little bit higher. If you're a foreigner and you buy a home here in the U.S. and you want to sell that home, okay, there will be a holdback at escrow for your taxes. Okay, when you sell that home, you're not going to get 100% of your money. They will hold back a small portion for taxes.
Yeah, so what Sam's referring to is actually called FIRPTA. FIRPTA stands for the Foreign Investment in Real Estate Tax Act. And just like Sam said, it requires the buyer, they're going to withhold taxes when the property is sold.
I'm glad you remembered that name because FIRPTA totally slipped my mind. I knew it was something like that, but I didn't remember FIRPTA.
It's a totally weird name. So they're gonna so when you sell a property, they're actually gonna be withholding 15%, Sam. But that's only on properties that are over $300,000.
Okay, so I actually didn't know that. Right. So look, we were talking about everybody getting a piece of the American dream, and I'm all for capitalism, okay? But there have been some instances lately, and I'll give you an example, all right? There's a lot of like Chinese companies, and some people say they have affiliation with government or whatever, buying up all our farm and ranch, okay? And that poses a problem because, you know, is a foreign government buying land in the U.S. under a veil of a company or a person in order to, for example, control American agriculture? Or are they buying land next to military bases for, you know, untoward reasons, right? So that's where things get a little bit sticky.
Man, I'm glad you brought that up. That's where you lose me too. Here's the thing. I don't know how comfortable I am with a foreign country coming in and buying millions and millions of acres of agricultural land, whether or
I mean,
not
I'm zero
it's,
comfortable with it, and a lot of states have started to ban that. Okay, a lot of states have started to ban that. Not all, they all should. It should be a federal law, but it's not yet. And it's not
you
always
know,
farm and ranch. It's also residential, and these aren't governments, but these are giant corporations from outside of the U.S. buying up all the residential properties in some of our local areas. So you're trying to buy a house and you're getting outbid by these giant corporations. But hey,
that blew
Mark,
mine.
instead of us talking about it, why don't we show them? By the way, if you haven't done so already, now's the perfect time to hit that subscribe button below. Are you ready to check out some videos?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's get
do
into it.
All right. All right, here we go.
New housing crisis.
This is just about greed.
Investors push up prices.
So that's what we were talking about, right? If they saturate the market, prices are going to go up for the average everyday person.
Tonight, News 5 investigator Sarah Buttison reveals serious concerns about the rapid rise in homes owned by investors.
A new owner bought the Bucyrus Avenue duplex. The landlord, who he has never met, raised his rent.
Can you afford that?
$175 a month.
No.
So it's not only home buyers that are getting affected by a saturation of foreign investment. It's also renters, right? Their rents are going up. Their rents are being controlled by foreign entities now.
At least 13% of Cleveland homes are now owned by investors, a number that's risen dramatically over the last decade. More than half of investor owners list addresses outside Cleveland.
So 13%, half of them are outside of Cleveland. So that means about 6% of homes in Cleveland are owned by outside investors. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they're all foreign.
On this block, we found 4 houses with out-of-state owners. The house behind me lists an owner in California. The house across the street has a Florida owner. Down the block, Virginia, and across the street from that house, Colorado.
I'm all for that. I would love to own a home in Cleveland. So again, I'm not against people from out of state buying homes. It's just when massive corporations start gobbling them up.
The phrase foreign investor means a little bit different in this video, but it's foreign to Ohioans,
right?
Because it is out of state people. I guess the concept's the same.
Right. The prices are going up, but they're about to get into the foreign investment side of it. Let's check that out.
Yeah.
Dozens more are internationally owned. Countries that include Canada, Israel, and Australia.
And to be fair, it's a lot more than Canada, Australia, and Israel, right? It's countries all over the world. Let's check out this multi-billion-dollar company from abroad and what they're doing to the marketplace here in the United States.
Barry Berman is CEO of Tricon Residential, a Toronto-based company that has quietly become one of the largest owners of single-family homes in the United States.
All right, so just over the border in Canada, a multi-billion-dollar company has now become one of the largest single-family residential home owners in the United States. So they're definitely a player, probably controlling prices and controlling rents as well, right?
You know what's sad about this, Sam, is I'm watching this for the first time, but I can kind of see where this is going. This guy probably owns thousands of properties here in the United States, and now those properties will forever be off the market for people that actually live here that want to try to buy homes.
Right, and when you hear how many homes they're actually buying and what they're doing with them, you're going to be floored. Let's check it out.
Oh, really? Let's see.
So today, we own about 30,000 single-family rental homes across the U.S.
30,000 homes.
Jesus.
30,000.
So 30,000 homes are now off the market for people that are working every day, that are pre-qualified, that are trying to buy in their community.
Right. We're giving our...
It's sad. I get it. I mean, it's capitalism, and there's an ugly side and a positive side to capitalism, but I mean...
Right, but when Chester over here from Canada, Slickster, starts buying up all our homes, you know, I am from Canada, but he's kind of pissing me off a little, I gotta admit. Let's check it out.
Largely in the Sun Belt, and we've got probably about 75,000 people living in our homes.
You are a multi-billion-dollar company. You're publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange.
Correct.
And the
Toronto Stock Exchange.
Toronto Stock Exchange.
I mean, how can you compete with that if you're trying to buy a home, right? Guy owns 30,000 homes. You can't. I mean, he's going to outbid you.
And
Sam,
and
he's a cash deal, right?
Know,
so like he's going to close in a week. So why would that seller want to deal with you?
There's no appraisals.
Right.
There's no appraisals involved. You know, there's no lending. They're
buying as is. All right. Well, let's see where he's buying up all these homes. Let's check it out.
All right.
I even read in one of your own documents that your revenue went up last year by 67%. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're expanding.
So he's expanding. Revenue went up 67% last year. So, you know, interest rates are high. Home prices are a little stagnant. These guys are gobbling it up. While you guys are all waiting around for interest rates to come down, these companies are buying up all the properties. All right, let's keep going.
It's just business. It's going.
Tricon is trying to buy 800 houses a month.
800 houses a month, bro. That's what he's buying. 800 houses a month.
But and there are companies even bigger. They all offer rental homes online and all focus on the Sun Belt.
So there's my state, there's your state, there's California, there's Florida. That's where everybody wants to live, right? That's where this is all happening. He's about to break down which states he's most active in. Let's check it.
Our largest portfolio would be in Atlanta, in Charlotte, in Phoenix, in Tampa.
All right, there it is. Now, again, we're not trying to de-incentivize foreign buyers from wanting to buy an investment property or buying a second home, and then that's part of the American dream. We love that, right? But we just wanted to show you the flip side of things when massive corporations or governments start getting involved in trying to basically take over America, right? Something to talk about, maybe something for governments to start thinking about, maybe some restrictions like we were saying before.
Anyone can buy property here in the United States. There's no restrictions whatsoever. Maybe there should be. Let us know in the comments also how you feel about big corporations. If you are a U.S. citizen, big corporations that are foreign coming in and gobbling up all of our farmland or commercial properties, or even your neighborhood next door neighbor's property. Let us know how you feel about that.
Right. We showed you how to buy a home if you're a foreign investor. We showed you how to finance a home if you're a foreign investor. We showed you the downside to foreign investment from mega corporations and from foreign governments. If you have any real estate or lending questions for Mark and I, please feel free to reach out. We'll be happy to answer those for you. If you haven't hit that subscribe button below, now's the perfect time to do it. That's pretty much it for me, Mark. What do you say?
Keep in mind, I'll be in Portugal and Spain over the next 2 weeks, so stay tuned. We got some great episodes coming out for you.
Housing Hooligans, we'll be there for you. Peace, everyone.